Namaste and welcome to the voice of passionate action. I am wisdom teacher Sri Ramka.
And I am Master Lady Kira Ra, welcoming you to our humble little apartment. You know, that 300 square feet we live in? This is it, 200 years old. And, you know, the energy, the profound moment of August, the electricity, the literal creation is why Sri and I literally needed to stay in our little sanctuary here with our mud walls to really invite you into this beautiful moment of choice. And let's just pause right there and welcome our own self to this moment of choice.
As you breathe with presence, you ignite the possibility of your authentic being as the commander of your experience. Breathing with presence is the gateway. Let's take a conscious breath together right now.
And remember to smile. Because remember that smile on the exhale, for whatever breathing practice you may enjoy, when we smile on the exhale, we send that signal of awakened consciousness to the universe. It's your smile that transcends the physical. It's your smile that carries you through. And it's your smile that's inviting you in this very minute to remember you help co-create every one of these Sunday services. Each week, when Sri and I have the honor of coming together with each one of you, it is a highlight of our week for sure, simply to feel you, simply to be with you, whether we have the blessing of being with you live right now or in video right now, we are always wrapping in that eternal experience of potentiality. And as we wrap that together today, remember that over at YouTube, we are broadcasting at Oneness Talk radio channel. And please subscribe over there so that you always catch not only our show, but there's a lot of great shows over there. Oh my gosh, if you just want positivity, go to Oneness Talk radio 24 hours a day and something will pick you up, including rebroadcasts of everything Sri and I are doing. And if you're live, everybody's chatting, and Jess Juntanen is in there right now. So you want to remember that Sri and I will be receiving your questions in as, quote, real time as we can, as Jess can get them to us and your sharing. So please engage us, please, because today's August revelations matter. The upcoming 8/8 Lionsgate next Monday, mark your calendar right now. You be there. It's going to be live at YouTube as well at Sri and Kira. So either subscribe over at the YouTube channel, official Sri and Kira. But if you want to join us in the Zoom that night for the interaction, register at Sri and Kira. Why am I sharing all this with you right now? Because that's what this month is. It's choice in action. It's a unique experience of the choice moment, Sri.
Absolutely. Choice is the fulcrum point where your free will and the totality of your being get to interact. Get to command the life.
The free will and the totality of your being. I want to say that again. The free will and the totality of your being get to interact. That's a Shriism. That needs to be written down. Go.
It's so important to recognize that a lot of folks are asleep at the wheel. And I joke about this because how many times have you driven home from work and you're on autopilot? You know, it's not like you're really...
Every time I think I ever did.
You know, you don't really pay that much attention.
Right.
Your body knows how to drive the car. And
or at least we hope it does.
For most people. And then you got the radio and the text and whatever else is distracting you. Well, what about your whole life?
There it is.
Are you on that autopilot? I'm grown up. I got it figured out. I'm just on autopilot. Or are you awake to that which is and that which could be?
Pause. Are you awake to that which is? Just stop there. Because where that takes you into the next potentiality, that next portion Shri's sharing is really important. So breathe.
And as we breathe, we come into present time and we invite the awakeness to that which is. And from there, we can make choices that are clear and conscious. Empowered choices are acts of clarity that unite our passion with our consciousness. That's an empowered choice.
Right?
There's lots of reactive choices, and we've all lived through those. We don't need to talk about that.
Right.
Reactive choices are the mechanism of the ego to perpetuate that which has gone before.
Oh, are we just getting blown away? I'm just like, oh, Shri, I'm verklempt. Go
You're
ahead.
so cute. So consider this for a moment, that if we do not bring that presence and that consciousness to bear, you will be reinventing the past and thinking it's new. And we can do that for a while. It's like a little vacation of consciousness.
Now, I want to stop though. Reinventing the past. I want you guys, can we stop right there, Shri?
Yeah.
Because I think that's really important with the August choice. Reinventing the past while you are thinking it is new. I feel like I'm standing in front of a whiteboard with that sentence right now, and I'm diagramming it for you. And the one word that's sticking out is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you are thinking at all, if you are, and sincerely, I'm inviting you to go outside the chuckle and into the depth of that sharing. It's not about the loss of the greatest sense of clarity ever and the clearest trajectory and the absolute dot that connects the dot, that connects the dot, that connects the dot. What it is that inspired experience that is now the active choice. And that is August.
Yes.
Literally he's literally giving you like, here it is, guys. Here it is.
The energetic flow of August
Yeah.
is indeed a reflection or inspiring my sharing today.
Yeah.
Because we, all of us, are constantly being asked by the universe to re-up, to go further, to choose more clearly, to stand in our authenticity, which includes the power of your love as working with the power of your wisdom. Love and wisdom are the alchemy of conscious action in our world.
And so let's look at August, right? If love and wisdom are the alchemy in action, love and wisdom. I first want to go to Shri. Let's go to the word file. They're not going to be able to see this, but you're going to be later today. So a great reason, if you're especially watching this as a video, go to shriandkira.com, go immediately to the article section, scroll on our homepage, you'll find it. But you immediately want to visit the ensoulment. And this ensoulment is one that will be published in Sedona Journal this month as well. And it's all about love or knowledge. And I want you to really breathe that in. Love or knowledge. It goes back to that diagramming sentence. And I was like, let's just hone in right here on this word thinking. Because when we own the ascended presence that we are, we then transcend and become the living instrument of the law of instantaneous manifestation as that eternal, unconditional love in action. Eternal, unconditional love in action.
Yes.
That is August. And that is a choice. And as Shri was mentioning earlier, right now, that yes is that choice. And that choice, there will be moments where it might be a moment to moment yes. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. That smile, that eternal illumination that no matter what, it is that steadfast commitment, that focused awareness, and that complete trust that cannot even open a gateway that would even be close to being the switch that could turn on a seed of doubt. I want you to breathe in the depth of that. Because if the doubt is any closer than that, then the law of instantaneous manifestation cannot be. And having lived this, as it seems the blessing of this potentiality experiences for all of us, is that as you reflect upon this July month of experience, as we are calling that today, into the in-breath of all that we have called in. Remember, this month was all about what? creation, second chakra, but the creation of the bigger vision, the actual bringing into manifest form of that which has been sitting up here going, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And this month has been about bringing that kaleidoscope. I hope you all bought your kaleidoscopes, right? Because Sri and I have been having
We've
fun.
been looking at
we
them.
should,
They're
we
fun.
should get, they're right over here. We should show them to you. I mean, we've been using our kaleidoscope. So breathe in, and Sri's going to read you one little quote from this love or knowledge ensoulment. And this ensoulment is a blessing through both Archangel Zadkiel and the benevolent ones. And it really talks about how breath is your gift. How do you use it? And that I think it's just, let's start with the invitation, and then we will invite you. This will be up at our website later today. So I would invite you, Sri would invite you to read the whole thing and kind of call it into the August frequency.
There's a lot of wonderful wisdom in this sharing, in this article. Where should we begin here?
I was thinking maybe just this.
Okay.
I think that's just enough, don't you?
This is a sacred transmission. We invite
Yeah.
you to greet it with your loving presence. Let's take a breath together. As you offer the self, the love of breath, as you offer yourself the gift of deep divine breath, within that recognition, love becomes all that you are, and all that becomes the one gift in the oneship of the one beingness.
So taking in a breath, and in the energy of this ensoulment, we have prepared a short update of the blessing of the oneness, the love in action of Global Minga. So I'm going to pick up my cup of coffee. I'm going to pick up my beautiful bracelet. Look what this was handmade for me by the grandmothers there, San Rafael Quichua. And we're going to give you a moment to love yourself a little more because you did this. And so get ready to love you even more and maybe fall in love with our world a lot more.
All right, here's this beautiful sharing.
Enjoy.
Bueno, aquí nos encontramos con la abuela Victoria Garcés, de aquí del territorio ancestral de la comuna quichua de San José de Huizuya. Aquí le pedimos a la abuela que nos diga cómo es su conocimiento desde sus épocas, desde donde sus abuelos por ahí le vino enseñando, porque hasta ahora el día de hoy miramos diferentes clases de plantas que tiene para atender, ¿no?, a las comunidades y brindar la sagrada medicina que ellas las cultivan y las tienen. Abuela Victoria, ¿puede decirnos desde estos conocimientos usted?
Yo me llamo Victoria Garcés. Yo estoy trabajando con estas medicinas que mis compañeras me han ayudado. Estoy muy agradecida con ellos. Y don Darwin que me está ayudando. Muchas gracias, don Darwin, a mis compañeras que me están ayudando a este huerto ancestral. Muchísimas gracias a mis compañeras mujeres.
Bien, abuelita Victoria, usted, ¿qué le diría a Shri y a Kri, que son los compañeros que nos están apoyando desde Tosa, de allá desde el sector Paute, llamado Cerro Azul, de la parte del sector de la resistencia de los Cañaris? ¿Qué les diría usted a ellos referente al apoyo que nos están brindando desde esa distancia hasta llegar acá a la Amazonía y que nos están apoyando para el fortalecimiento de nuestras sagradas medicinas? ¿Qué les diría a ellos?
Porque de parte de ellos muchas gracias y que nos sigan apoyando a lo que ellos están, lo que yo estoy aprendiendo una parte por ellos y don Darwin también, y yo lo que quiero aprender para darle a mis hijos y a mis amigos que me están enseñando. Gracias.
Bueno, entonces le agradecemos, un fuerte aplauso, abuela Victoria Garcés, Entonces, asimismo llevaremos este mensaje de lo que usted cultiva, su medicinita a nivel ancestral que ha venido dando uso como madre partera, que siempre tiene su conocimiento ancestral y más bien seguir, darle el apoyo para que pueda usted seguir avanzando y cultivando y no perder este conocimiento que por miles o cientos de años o por varias décadas han venido adquiriendo este conocimiento.
And we do love you so
love you.
dearly. And bring your hand to your heart. And, you know, we have so much film. We have so many grandmothers and so many taitas. That taita you're seeing there was one that Darwin was telling us about. This man does not interface. They have trusted us, Sri and I, on your behalf. They have trusted us enough that they are coming forward out of the Amazonian jungles where they are literally hiding to be able to share with you. And they will be here live in September. Is that incredible? I mean, to have these beautiful beings here. And remember that in September, you can still come and join us here live if you like. Just, you know, get to the website, triankira.com, learn more about that, because we are full, we're fulling. So, you know, if you want to come, find out how you can still make that happen. And of course, we will be doing some broadcasting over that weekend because this is part of World Peace Week. Now, speaking of World Peace Week and sustaining the Amazon, I opened up before we showed you your little Global Minga update, and each week we're going to be offering you an update similar to this. Whatever film is happening on any of the projects, we do have new film and photos coming in about the 2 houses that are being built, so look for that next week as well. So there's so much happening with the foundation, but I wanted to bring to your attention again this beautiful, and it's so hard on the camera, look at the quality and the love. And for those of you that saw the show last week, and if you didn't, please go watch at least the video. I will never forget when our beautiful grandmother put this on me, who was here with Darwin, and holding her for 10 minutes while she cried and cried and cried, and really feeling you. The community of conscious awareness, the community that's saying yes, the community that's saying yes, the sea of neutrality, and this beloved Gaia deserve to be. And so what many of you never knew, and Shri, I think we have a photo of some of those pulsaras. Can you put them up?
Sure.
What many of you never knew was that one of the heritages that these women are also keeping, I just want you to see the energy because none of these are available. These are all already gone. They are weaving the ancient energy of the sacred medicine into these pulsaras. We have the photos and the videos of the way they dance these alive. And when the pulsara I just showed you was put on me by the beautiful grandmother, I was immediately in the Amazonian jungle. I was in their extraordinary community. Shri and I in that moment pledged to go there. We know we need to go there. I was describing the animals. I was describing the sounds of the jungle. And if you gaze at this energy right now, the reason we're sharing it with you is twofold. Number one, it is the combination of the Amazon, which is all the pulsaras, And then that is on a hand-woven Kenyari drum. Basket. But it's a very, very large, huge Kenyari basket that sits in our pool here at Tosa Blue Mountain. So we were weaving the Amazon along with the Kenyari here in the mountains. And then as a bridge over to India, that center eye is from India. And it was gifted to Sri and I by one of our beautiful, beautiful community members from India. When we were in India, she gifted us with several gifts, that being one of them. And then the 3 ferns represent the Trinity. They represent the rising energy of the pyramid. They are in the form of the sacred geometry with those 3 white flowers that all of this came right from our gardens moments before we snapped this shot, radiating the crystalline light into the eye of the universe, igniting the sacred medicines that call in unification. And so I created this mandala and we presented it to our Divine Mastery Presence group because, yes, we are making these available, and they were gone before we ever even were able to tell the world because we needed to raise money for a computer. They were gone. And the reason I'm sharing it with you now is these are handmade one at a time. They are sitting up nights. They are calling in sacred energies for you. Every one of these is unique. And when you wear them, things happen. and it's really quite beautiful. And we're going to begin inviting the pictures of everyone who already has one. Start sending us your pictures because we want to start posting the pictures of everyone that as we become a family around the world, wearing these incredible energies, carrying the power of the Amazon with just such a passionate action. Something just really beautiful on your arm that's pulsing through your energy that says, you know what? This planet deserves to be.
Yeah.
You know what? And for me, I'm getting it. I've been wearing it so much, I need to get a new thing for it to hold it together. But I will share with you that when I'm wearing this, and I know you can feel it, I'm there. And so what we are doing as Global Mingo right now is the August energy. And Sri, before I put up the calendar, would you like to share more?
Yes. One of the things that touches my heart is bringing forward the loving connection that is being extended for the world. These grandmothers, these taitas, these medicine men are living such humble, simple lives with a mission to protect that which is sacred and wholesome. And we have some other video that we'll share next week from one of the people that is cultivating these plants, talking about how
another grandmother and another taita.
Yeah, how the plants are disrespected by the commercial logging operations and mining and et cetera, and that these plants contain the seeds of life and connection.
This is miracle science happening right in front of us.
And these bracelets, pulseras we call them, are your opportunity to feel that connection, to be in that supportive, beautiful, loving relationship with beings who are indeed lineage holders and custodians.
And we have no idea how many we can get. What you saw on that mandala, that first mandala, and we're going to commit to making mandalas of every grouping because every grouping is going to be carrying most likely a very different energy. But that was all, it takes them a long time to make these. So that's why I'm sharing. If you have any interest, let us know because we have talked to Darwin and they are already saying yes.
They're going to make more in a couple of weeks. And so we're saying this sharing is a celebration.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly.
It's about acknowledging that we are all connected and we are all contributing. And that what I have learned in my life is that when my heart is aroused, the passion is bubbling, that's a signal from the universe.
Oh, yeah.
And that this isn't about should and shouldn't. This is simply about the emerging passion informing my next action.
There it is.
Because passion is our nature. And the joy of being connected and supporting each other is our very nature. Mm-hmm. Just one more thing. We read to you a little sharing from this beautiful communication.
The love or wisdom.
And one of the pieces,
love or knowledge,
love or knowledge. One of the pieces in there that I think is so important for this time is the recognition that when we seek knowledge, we are actually separating from our essential soul and self.
there's a reason. I want you to breathe that in, because receiving that just out of the blue can have an interesting effect on how you receive
Yes.
it. So let that be an invitation to go read the article.
Go get
And
that
let's
in
get to August.
context.
Yeah,
Get
and
that in context.
so Shri, let's put up the August calendar, because you really want to get that in context, especially in August. So there we are. First and foremost, bring your hands to your heart. This moment, this very moment, is the master's journey. You're walking it. Whether or not you think you're ready, whether or not you even know about it consciously, is irrelevant, because the moment is right now. Every single breath, every single moment is a gift, because the one you are prepared for and ready to live. You are here now. You are prepared for this journey. You are ready to live this journey. You are the one that the universe is saying, hey, tapping you on the shoulder, like it or not. And for some, it won't be the kindest wake up, in all honesty. But, here it is. It's happening. But because it's happening, and because we are aware of the fact that it is like an explosion, look at how the art this month is different than every other month this year. It is uniquely different. If you go back, if you own a calendar, and if you don't get it, it's at our website, but go back and look at all the other months this year. This is a dramatic departure. Every single month has been centered around walking into the center of the sea of neutrality, sustaining it, right? Remember, we're still in this moment where we are, and it's interesting how the energy around the September equinox is trying to pull those that are not ready to receive out of what's causing some stability. So be very, very careful right now. There's a lot that are receiving messages that are coming from, quote unquote, the lower self, because the lower self is terrified, because it knows that the one that you are is already living the life that you are here to live. And unless you are able to command the ship of the ego, it is going to start commanding you. And the first thing it's going to do is blame and reach out and say, oh, no, this, and this. Be careful. That's what this choice is all about, especially with a monthly energy of a 4. The 4 is all about the cross of equilateral balance. It's all about the cross of balance. It's all about the unification, setting the stage and go. Remember, that butterfly arose out as now, what is it doing? This is its view. That's the difference on the calendars. So go back and look at July. I don't think we have July available to show you today. So there's your challenge. Another reason to go back and listen to last week's show. It was really important. And look at that calendar when it came up, because it was all about, July was all about the butterfly. It was all about the butterfly. It was all about the butterfly, that experience of that coming out. Here I am, my wings are open, moving into this August choice. And so now you are the butterfly. This is what your eyes are acclimating, adjusting to. And so first thing coming right up is Monday, the 8th, the Lion's Gate amplification in the energy of the full bounty moon. You skip ahead, you see we're going to have a Mercury retrograde pre-phase. We've got an illuminated new moon, and so much more happening this month. As I'm sharing this with you, I want you to notice 2 chakras right now. Bring a hand to your heart, right? High heart, there it is. Bring a hand to your throat. Close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Take one conscious breath in, deep Balbesa. Smiling, releasing the hands, lifting slowly. Bringing them into prayer position if possible. Bowing the head. Reaching out your hands, opening your eyes, and saying yes to the choice that your heart and your truth are already calling forward. And so as you're breathing that in, I want you to just relax into your body a little more. And in just a moment, I'm going to have Shri put up the Ascended numerology. But I want you to just invite the breath. Remember, what did Shri read you about that beautiful paragraph out of the Ensoulment? go to ShriNkira.com, read the August installment. The August full Ascended Numerology will be there. The installment will be there. Take the time early this month if you can, and throughout the month to reconnect with it. So as you're breathing, I want you to now go third chakra, hand third chakra, high third chakra, right? There we are. I'm just kind of seeing if I can sit up straighter. There we are. And heart again, high heart, right? So sit as straight, as tall as you can. There we are. I feel the balance. Bring the breath down to that third, up to the fourth, smiling. Remove the third, keeping the hand on the heart. I want you to remove the third, breathing to your truth. There it is, lifting up, relaxing the hands, the smile, and the presence. And I want you to stay in this presence, and if it's safe to close your eyes, you can do so, because I want to put up the Ascended Numerology, and as we do, I invite you just look at the wheel and let go of everything else. If your eyes are now open, look right there in the zero of the wheel. Start there first. If you got the whole thing or you got distracted, close your eyes. And when you open them, just go right into the zero. Close your eyes, and when you open them, go right into the zero. And as you gaze at the zero, relax your eyes, relax your vision, and notice what you're noticing. I'm noticing a lot of you are noticing your breath. Notice what you're noticing. Keep your eyes on the chart. Just be with it. And then bringing your hands to your heart, closing your eyes once more if it's safe to do so. When you open them, you're going to look at the body. So opening your eyes, look at the body. And the first thing that is really powerful to note here is the power of beingness, which is the root center, as it directly works with the lotus chakra, as the lotus chakra itself is being supported by an eternal spinning presence that has a double bullseye on manifestation. And that bullseye is all connected to truth. The truth will finally prevail, be seen, and come forward. And I don't know about all of you, but for me, let's go live again.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know about you guys, right? Is that not an alleluia moment? I mean, let's hear an alleluia on that one, right? It's all about the truth. And that means that when it's all about the truth, it means it also is going to cause anything that you would fear the truth being known, which ultimately comes back to what inside of you is still wounded, that is afraid, that is so afraid of the truth, that in the moment that the truth is absolutely the gift that will prevail, sustain, and expand, many will try to run from it. Forgive them. I'm saying it a lot these days. Forgive them. They know not what they do. They're terrified of you. They're terrified that your ascended being is the invitation for them to pop or drop. And for many, it's a lot easier to drop. And it's okay. The gift is you're here because you're already in the pop, right? It's just a fun thing to do.
You know, as you share that, I'm reminded that we are, each of us is a hologram for the entire community of humanity. Yes. And many times in our lives, we've had the opportunity to either lift through, to pop through, or to drop back. And the dropping back is a comfortable way of dealing with what you think you know.
Yeah.
And accepting that as the parameters versus risking more to be revealed than you have previously recognized.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
To pop is to move through the unknown. But who is it unknown to? Your soul knows the way. It's only unknown to the one that wants to control, and that's that ego identity. And so every time we pop, we discover a way to train our ego to trust our higher self, to trust our authenticity. So popping is indeed the spiritual classroom, lifting through the unknown and
as is dropping.
Yes,
no, it's all part of the spiritual.
That's true.
You know, and I
that's
mean,
true.
And here's the key. And I want to know. I do want to jump in on this because, and you guys jump in too. We see we've got a ton of stuff in the chat, and so the popping or the dropping is all part of the spiritual classroom. It's all part of the spiritual spiral. Remember, and I'm going to just take one moment. So bringing my hands to my heart and sharing with you, I remember in 1989, I remember it was Christmas Eve day, and I was at the epitome of my 7-figure career. And at that moment, that was a lot of money. I was traveling the world. I was literally gone 28 days a month. And my daughter was calling the nanny mommy. And I thought that was all okay, right? I was the epitome of that. I mean, the epitome of it. And I will never forget getting off that plane and waking up pretty much in a hospital. I have some foggy memory between the plane and getting there. A doctor telling me that I had cancer, that my cancer was not only so bad, chances are I wasn't going to make it through this emergency surgery and blah, blah, blah. And that was the greatest gift in my life. Because that moment, that first and very profound near-death experience, is the one that set the stage for who that I am today. It's also being shared with you right now, because the eternal presence of our oneness can only come through the fearlessness of being that which I am. To claim that which you have always known. During my near-death experience, and I pray for that animator to please come and help me get this out, to show you all, to connect with it. The greatest gift that I can share with you right now was that, in 1989, nobody was talking about NDEs. This wasn't happening, blah, blah, blah. I was clinically dead for 4 minutes. Yes, they were signing the death certificate when I reanimated, but I didn't remember it right away. I was that stubborn. And it was because the consciousness reset that was going on in my brain that took me back to when I was a child, took almost a full 10 years to anchor, and could not fully anchor till Shri and I came together. And you can read about that in our first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home. So when I went into what looked to me to be only described as a Godhead, it's the only word I have for it. It's this swirling, beautiful, it's the epitome of the Shiva Linga. I think that's why the Shiva Linga for me is such a pure essence of that energy. It's that pillar of light that has no beginning and has no end. It's just this pure pillar of light. And remembering, witnessing so beautifully that all of us, were on this incredible lotus. Everyone, each lotus very unique. But everything for me, it felt like lotusy. Everyone on the lotus, everyone in bliss. And at the heart center, right here where my scarab is, right here, were these emanations of crystalline light. And everyone had one. And this is why what you said is so important, Shri. And it was like, imagine it, and this is why an animator, please come forward. Imagine it was like big fields and universal experiences of crystalline connection, and it was eternal, eternal, eternal. And sometimes you would spin all the way in really close to the Godhead, and sometimes you were way out there, and I was witnessing that and how that happened, but you were never not out of it. You were just at a different perspective of being with it. It is truly the eternal spiral of consciousness. And then I remember it was like a shoot. It's like for me, that's what it felt like. Like all of a sudden you've been spun around and it's like, there you are. And you're in that instantaneous moment where are you going in and melding or are you resisting? And I was witnessing that enough to see that even just that moment hesitancy of doubt was causing those that were right there. I mean, right there. That ego so strong that it will hold on to whatever doubt it can to make sure it doesn't, boom, break all the way through, because that's the ultimate density experience. And I remember the whoom, and then boom, I was in, just in. And what I can share with you is that dissolution was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. And it began first with the revelation of the forms of worship of this densified potentiality. I didn't just see one religion, I saw them all. I felt like Krishna at the moment when Arjuna is just saying, please show me, I want to know. And Krishna stands and shows it all in the unconditional love of all that is all has the right to be. The perception of what that all looks like is the paintbrush of this moment. But that was my near-death experience. And it was beautiful. And there wasn't even a moment of anything other than bliss-filled understanding that we are one, that we are eternally connected, that this is a blink, and that we are the ones that get to create this dance. So why not dance? Why not dance? Have fun. Let it be that which we can inspire it through our own experience to be. So this moment of the pop or drop is very much, for me, the conscious evolution of my own and first very profound and deep NDE. And that this moment in consciousness is inviting us to remember that you are not responsible for where each being goes in the sacred spiral. It's not your job to know. What your, quote, job would be is the best you can be. And the August truth is inviting you to do that with the manifestation. It is go time, baby. I mean, go, 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 go. That kaleidoscope of July has now come into the clarity of go. So thank you for letting me share that with all of you. Like I said, you guys co-create this, and I was just feeling this presence energy. Yeah,
it's important. You know, I just want to underscore what I think should be obvious, that whenever we share from our hearts, we're all expanded. And that this is how we support each other. Because so often the watcher, the one that is witnessing your experience, sometimes feels like they're alone. Yes, the watcher watching the watcher kind of thing. Which brings us, you know, to really the
here it is, the witness.
The witnessing.
Yeah. So remember that in the third dimension, we first wake up by becoming the witness, right? We wake up to the third dimension, to that very beautiful, bountiful. There's so much of this good, basic awakening work out there. Go source it. Go find it, right? And it opens you to a bigger world than the dogma that seeks to keep you entrapped. And so as you move through that, then you're able to hold enough compassion for yourself, to love yourself enough that you become the witnesser of that third dimensional witness. And through the experience of the action of being the witnesser of the witness, you arrive to what Shri and I lovingly call the borderland of sanity, where you realize that you've been creating your own fence out on this playing field. You just didn't see it. Where you realize that there's been an escalator to your expansion that has been sitting there the entire time. And as you notice, reaching up above the fifth dimensional experience there, you have to stand up and claim and command to become the witnessing energy. Because witnessing energy is that which sustains the field outside of judgment. And in order to do that, it is the moment of releasing all egoic sense of prioritizing the self without letting go of the self that has called forward the capacity to be in form as your ascended presence with this experience now. And through that experience, we are able to call in the eternal smile, where we become the witness again, where we remember that we're never going to know what we don't know. It's always going to be an ever-refining spiral, that sometimes you're going up, sometimes you're going lateral, sometimes you're going down. It's how you navigate it that sustains the journey.
How you navigate it is a reflection of your choices. It is easy to become immersed in that which is familiar, even though it's painful. You know, consider for a moment. We, meaning the ego we, prefers something predictable or familiar over that which is truly joyful. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't accept joy. What I'm getting at is, how often do we step into a situation that is really uncomfortable? And yet we somehow just give ourselves to that situation because behind it all, there's a familiarity and a grand habit of pain. The habit of the pain of the pain. And society as a whole, human beings as a whole, go through stages of evolutionary recognition. One of these that we refer to as the cycle of recognition. That as we as beings allow our emotions to govern our choices, we find ourselves oftentimes cycling between anger and fear, because fear is a very uncomfortable state of disempowerment and doubt of our own power in the universe. And anger is an emotion that wants to set boundaries, that wants to say, I don't want to be afraid. When we begin to breathe and pop through that thermocline, we move into gratitude. And gratitude is the energy that will allow us to witness without judgment, because we're presence to the loving evolution that is woven into our very universe.
And Sri, before he went and put that down. That's okay. Nope. I've got another one. Put up something else with the pyramid. Do the pyramid of spiritual awakening. All right. So the thing I want to point out to all of you is that notice right now, the pyramid of spiritual awakening is in front of us all saying, where are you and where would you like to be? And if you look at the spiritual activism, you notice that green energy, that healing energy, that moving into the heart energy. We all move through these experiences, and it's not that one is better or higher than another. It's just that this is how it works in this potentiality. And so to move through spiritual activism in this moment, through the gift of this August cycle, is to come forward with an ascension awareness. It's, again, that all that is focus. It's that smile that lets go of judgment because it's spiritually detached. It is filled with the peace and spiritual joy of the knowing. And I want to just hold all of you in my heart right now and say thank you, because there's so much sharing and so much going on around the pyramid. And you did see earlier in the little video that we played, not only, these gentlemen, go back and watch this show again, watch that video. They are using bamboo and rope, and they're not even using modern day equipment. They are scaling the pyramid. They're not using mechanical levels. They're leveling with the bamboo itself. We are trying to document this the best we can. It is amazing.
Truly. What's
happening.
Truly.
It really is.
And it's important to recognize that constructing a pyramid with full presence and harmony, because we're talking about a harmony of the earth. The pyramid is an energy generator. Mm-hmm. It emanates a frequency that is healing, restorative, and a reminder of who we really are. Who we really are.
And it's passionate action.
It is.
It's not activistic. And what's so beautiful about this pyramid, as you see, and guys, like the bamboo structure of this, it looks exactly like this, right? This is all Indigenous built, all Indigenous fabricated.
Yes, and so what you saw in the movie were call it the bones. The bamboo is the strength of the pyramid, and then we're going to come in with the feminine principle. We're going to be adding mud. We're going to be adding other earth-based materials to create the skin.
And it's August, perfect balance, right? In July, we were putting up the masculine part of the structure. In August, the feminine, plus the bamboo, this incredible bamboo. We have beautiful film from bamboo forest, which at some point I think we need to just go visit. This is from right here in Ecuador as well, how sustainable this bamboo is. So this brought in the energy of the coast. It brought in the energy of the ocean. Yeah. It brought in the energy of all of the indigenous communities of the coastal areas that are here physically building this with their dream and how they build. And then to blend that with the mountains, it's really quite extraordinary as we move forward. So Shri, would you like to share more, or should I give some sharing?
Sure,
because you guys are amazing, and I'd love to amend. So first and foremost, oh my goodness, there's so many here. Let me just try to. I'm not going to be able to get to all of you, but let's do this. So, all right, let's see. Baldevi says, Namaste, all Arminga and Satsang. Much love. And to you, Baldevi, thank you. And lots of happy Sundays, lots of beautiful soul families, and beautiful beloved communities, and just incredible. And we see from Bhatia, hey Bhatia, miracles are afoot. Can you imagine the United Nations just chose my company, the only woman-owned car service? Hey, hey, hey. Yes, we can imagine that. And so
And so it is.
Of course, of course. All right. Dia, hey, sweetheart. Inspiration, love, wisdom, namaste. And to you, sweetheart. All right. Angela, I'm really resonating with love or knowledge. My goal in life to study history, to understand humanity is something I have really been working to relax this week. Thank you, MLKR. Well, thank you, sweetheart. Shri and I are honored. Shri, why don't you read a few? Right there, there's Gary.
Yeah,
My
Gary.
eyes are going blurry, guys. It could be tears, too, because you're so beautiful.
Gary shares, I realize that everything outside of me is absolutely perfect, even when it looks like it isn't an expression that is happening at all times, at every level, perfectly perfect.
Well, Gary, thank you. And the one thing that I would share with all of you is, remember, the transformative moment comes as easily as bringing your hands to your heart and sincerely invoking what in me invited this to be. What in me invited this to be. And remember that what in me invited this to be has a broad range of application.
Yeah, and there's sharings here celebrating the little movie and the Indigenous happy.
Thank you, thank you.
And Baldevi shares how graceful the grandmother is in her gratitude, and people are sharing their tears, and we're getting chills, and wow, we just say thank you for being present. Thank you for honoring the sharing.
And lots of love for our global Minga, and lots of things about the pyramid coming in as well. And I'm also seeing a lot of you here thanking me for my sharing. Thank you, because that was kind of like a preemptive strike on the show, meaning that was not something we thought we'd be bringing in. And again, this is why it's Shri and I connect with all of you. We sincerely spend the time. That's why we're here in our private space. I mean, welcome to this is a 200-year-old door right there you're staring at. And it's very tall. Our ceilings are very tall. Mud walls right over there. So who else?
Well, I think this is lovely here. Marianne shares.
Hi, Marianne.
So many tears of joy and beauty for the Pyramid of Peace, and for our beautiful Master Lady Kira Ra for her divine sharing.
Thank you, sweetheart. And thank you. And I do want to share with all of you that my husband and the beautiful Daniel Ugalde, and we have other architects here who are just incredible. I mean, this team of brilliance that is putting this my husband's, here's what the universe gave me, and they're actually making it happen, is insane. It really is.
Well, yeah, I want to just celebrate this.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about your please tell them a little bit about the new one, the granite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so the first thing,
because this is a big miracle.
The first off, the pyramid itself is a gift to the world.
It really is.
This will not only stabilize the energy of the planet and Gaia, it sends out a radiation that goes for miles.
Yes.
And that radiation harmonizes all living beings. It's an invitation to reconnect, to remember, to become that which you can be in this lifetime. And so it's only good can emanate from this.
Exactly.
And there's so many scientific studies overlaid on this basic principle of the pyramid shape and how to implement it. We have 4 architects volunteering their time because they're so enthusiastic. One of them is a specializes in bamboo and the strength and how to properly organize it to take advantage of the strength of the bamboo. The other is a young man, well, I say young, he's 30 or so, who is from Germany. And he is over here
because this is blowing
because
this
doesn't exist anywhere.
Who can get we need mainstream media needs to pick this up.
Daniel Ugalde, our lead architect, he was we shared this a couple of months ago. He looked at me and said, Shri, when I was in school for architecture, my professor said, we're going to talk about pyramid construction. And I immediately said, no, I'll never build a pyramid.
This is true. This is actual truth. So at the September 22, mark your calendar. On September 22, 2022, the Indigenous bands are going to be here. The drums are going to be here. The music is going to be here. Darwin will be here. The grandmothers will be here. Yaku Perez will be here. Chief Phil will be here. The Indigenous are coming from all over. Alexander Padilla will be here. There are so many that will be here
A
to
grand
dance
celebration.
and really say yes to the new harmonies that are coming into the planet. And so we really invite you. Shri has been working diligently on there's the, of course, we're the Grand Pyramid, the mother, the first of the 12. You saw in the beginning of the film today the prototype on the home kit, but they also have done it.
Yeah,
we have another big surprise. So when are you going to announce that? I want to keep them kind of hanging. Maybe next Monday. I don't know.
Oh, we're just this close to getting it posted to the web, but let me give you a sneak preview. With this sacred geometry, and with the gifts from the earth that are here in South America, we have constructed a tabletop granite pyramid.
Mind-blowing.
That is so awesome.
It's out of control.
It is so awesome.
It's
I
out
have
of
never,
control.
I mean, when we got it, we made it, I went, oh my goodness, never in my life have I seen a pyramid radiate such power. And these pyramids are going to be produced and shared so that you can acquire one for your home and it will balance your whole house.
On 8/8, the Lion's Gate, we have one here. We're very blessed we have it. We will ignite it on behalf of all.
Yes.
And in that spirit, I want you to bring your hands to your heart, because I do need to make a very an announcement from my heart to close with today's show. And that is that for the week ahead, I will be withdrawing from all communication, all email, anything that I would, quote unquote, regularly do. The universe is so clearly right now calling the anchorship of the information and all that we are into this 8/8 Lion's Gate moment. And again, we're going to open that night up to the world. That is the birth of Mastery Monday. Please be there. And so during this week, as your heart brings you closer to the 8/8 moment, review this show. Look, notice. If you're in our Divine Mastery Presence journey, I will be with you Wednesday night. And I will also, of course, be shepherding with Sri Ramka, our extraordinary monthly Mastery Mentorship gathering this coming Saturday, the first Saturday of every month. However, next Sunday's show is going to be Sri and Jess, and they are putting together something really unique. And I look forward to joining all of you and all of us on Monday, 8/8 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Make a note, share it with your friends, because when the lion roars this year, there's a lot to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, beloved ones, as we come to a close for today, I want to say thank you to all of you, and thank you to my beloved for clearly listening to the guidance. Each of us is being called. You are all being called. And to listen and take action on that call is indeed a sacred choice.
Yes.
And in this time of choice, be here, connect with, and know that all is truly well. We love you.
Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week.